Zion Voice, Episode 26. The Mustard Seed Code, Faith, Alignment, and the Power to Change Your Reality. Welcome back to Zion Voice. This is a space for truth without fear, for faith that thinks, and for the courage to choose growth, even when it's uncomfortable. Today's episode is called The Mustard Seed Code, and we're talking about faith, alignment, and the real power human beings have to change their reality, but not in the way it's usually taught. This isn't about pretending pain doesn't exist. It's not about denying struggle. And it's not about wishing hard enough until the universe bends. It's deeper than that. Yeshua once said that if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you could move mountains. And for a long time, people have misunderstood that. It was about how reality actually changes. A mustard seed doesn't look powerful. It's small, unimpressive, easy to dismiss. It doesn't look like a tree. It doesn't look like abundance. It doesn't look like transformation. And that matters. Because in nature, the things with the greatest future potential often begin hidden, compressed, and unseen. Inside that tiny seed is information, order, a pattern waiting for the right conditions. In modern language, we would call it stored potential. In spiritual language, we call it faith. The seed doesn't grow because it believes, it grows because it aligns with soil, with water, with light, with time. Faith works the same way. Faith is not pretending. Faith is not forcing. Faith is choosing to align your life with growth before there is proof that growth will happen. And that choice is rare. That's why the reward feels so disproportionate. In science, systems don't change smoothly, they resist, they store pressure, they hold their form, and then they cross a threshold. Ice doesn't slowly become water, it stays ice until it doesn't. That moment feels instant, but it was prepared for the entire time. This is what people are trying to describe when they talk about a quantum jump. Not that they escaped reality, not that they jumped timelines, but that they stayed aligned long enough for the system to change states. The jump wasn't magic. The patience was. Belief doesn't bend the universe. Belief bends you, and you are the interface. Your attention, your nervous system, your decisions, your habits, your willingness to keep planting when nothing is visible yet. That's the real code. Science fiction has been trying to tell us this truth for decades. The hero never wins by force. They win by remembering who they are. Neo didn't change the Matrix, he stopped fighting it. The Force doesn't respond to strength, and it responds to alignment. Time travelers don't fix everything, they make one precise choice. These stories stay with us because they mirror reality. Change doesn't come from domination, it comes from coherence. Negativity is easy, it's fast, it's protective. It evolved to keep us alive. But positivity, real positivity, is creative. It requires regulation, delayed reward, trust without evidence, and repeated choice. That's why it's harder, and that's why it compounds. A seed doesn't look positive, it looks buried. Here's the part I want you to sit with today. You don't choose outcomes. You choose orientation, toward fear or toward growth, toward extraction or cultivation, toward collapse or coherence. Reality meets you there, not instantly, but faithfully. So if you want to call this a code, let it be this. Choose direction, not guarantees. Plant small, repeatable actions. Stay aligned longer than doubt expects, and allow the system to cross its own threshold. Stayed faithful long enough for Yahweh's design to unfold. That's the mustard seed. That's the moment mountains move. This is Zion Voice. And as always, stay awake, stay grounded, and choose growth.